Welcome back. We have our first official guest. Definitely happy to learn about this young brother who is doing amazing things, has already done some great things, and we're going to hear his story, learn a little bit how he's been able to take a lot of sports lessons, apply them to the real world, and hopefully we'll be able to use them in our lives as well. Y'all know who I am, David Caldwell. I go by Dak. And of course, we got big bro Brandon Standley here. And Brandon, maybe remind them about what Two Peas on a Pod is about.
Absolutely, David. It's we formed this under the context that we would like people, our guests, to share their perspective on life, and maybe tell us about any challenges or how they became successful, or how they persevered. So it's perspective and perseverance are the two P's, and that's what we're here to do. And I think by just giving folks a platform and letting them share their stories, I can't wait to hear all these backgrounds and what they want to do in life. That's what this is.
So with that being said, Jordan, tell us a little bit about you. I tell you, I was on your LinkedIn
Oh yeah,
and I'm going through what you're doing. Of course, you'll tell them I don't want to, I see it on your shirt. You'll tell us more about the
for
business and
sure.
everything, but I'm thinking like, oh, he must have graduated maybe about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. And then I
Yeah,
look and I'm like, hold up, this young man just graduated. So
for sure.
we're going to make sure, well, I'm going to make sure that I'm doing a little bit less talking than I normally do and just listening because I want to learn. I want to learn. So tell me a little bit about you. Tell me where you are right now. Tell me how you
hmm
got here and maybe tell us, where you're looking to go.
For sure. So I'm Jordan Billups. I'm from Camden County. It's southeast Georgia, about 30 minutes north on the Florida line from Jacksonville, Florida. Played at Camden County High School for football, and I got a scholarship to go play at Valdosta State. So I graduated in 2020. Got out Valdosta in 2020, and that was COVID year, so we didn't play. But I was there for 5 years. This past year, I finished my collegiate playing, but I graduated in the fall of 2023 with my bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies. And now I'm working at Southeastern Freight Lines as the outbound operations manager. Um, I was, blessed to be able to, go to Valdosta and be put in situations where, it was to help me succeed. So, just that's just where I'm at right now. But, life's still young for me, and I got, goals I want to reach. So, you know.
Now that's amazing. Brandon, you want to you want to chime in? You want to
I do. I've got a couple
please,
questions. So,
please.
so Jordan, first, we might have multi-sport, single sport folks that are on this show. So, you may have said it, but just for the audience, you played football there, right?
I did play football, yeah.
Did you run track or anything, or was it
I
just
ran track in high school. It was kind of mandatory, I
Mhm.
would say, for all the skill positions. But I ran track. I was a sprinter, ran the 100, 200. It was on the 4x1 team. So a little
That's a
bit of
big
track
one that you
behind me.
bring up though, because a lot of kids nowadays they're looking to get into what is the single sport focus. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on that? Should kids play a bunch of different sports, learn different things from the different sports using different body movements, different eye-hand coordination, all these different things that are required in different sports? Or do you think they should just lock in and focus on one?
No, I think up until high school, you should be in multiple sports because like track, I worked on it as my speed. It helped me become faster at the game, and then I also did play baseball for a little bit. So hand-eye coordination, that was huge for me. So playing multiple sports helped me out with football, which was my main sport, if that makes sense. So
I think I'm right there with you. When it comes to sports, like play as many different sports as you can, because even though I mentioned a lot of the physical attributes, that you're going to be doing different things in track, that you're doing in baseball, that you're doing in all these other sports, there's also a mental component. You're first
absolutely,
off, you're working with different types of people, usually in the different sports that you play, and you're learning how to work with them in different areas. A relationship that you have as a defensive back may be totally different than you being locked in in a one-on-one race, you know what I mean? Like where you're just out there on the track by yourself racing against,
Right.
you learn different things from different sports and putting yourself in different positions. So
Absolutely.
I'm definitely rocking with you on it. What you think, big bro?
Hey, I tell you what, and this is why I think these conversations are so important because, again, this is Jordan's perspective. It's coming out. This is how he became familiar with his football position. That's his perspective of the game. And so, Jordan, when you were going through high school, did you see yourself going to college right away or no?
I did. I definitely did. I had aspirations of playing at the next level. Me being a smaller guy, I wanted to go play big time Division I football, but you know, the only Division I scholarship I had was East Tennessee State. But then, certain situations came up where my scholarship got cut. And then Valdosta, it was either up to Valdosta or Savannah State. And Valdosta had the winning culture, so that was like a no-brainer for me to go there. And I, wouldn't regret it.
A lot of
That's
people
awesome.
don't realize how hard it is to get a scholarship.
Definitely.
A lot of these high school, it's funny because you talk to a young kid and what do? We go directly past college. It's like I'm going to the league. Like,
League, yup.
you in Pee Wee football, you going to the league? And people people don't even realize how hard it is to play on your high school team. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's so many different things, and it doesn't always have to do with your skill or anything. A lot of times it's just getting an opportunity, the way that the
Mhm.
ball may bounce, and you being able to capitalize when you do get an opportunity. So it's very, 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 very difficult to get a scholarship. So shout out to you for having to make a lot of those mature decisions as somebody's young, because that's how life works. You got an opportunity,
Appreciate
this
it.
career, and the next day you may not have it, and you got to adjust and adapt. So I'm sure you've dealt with that a lot, big bro, or just at least being able to see it, especially having kids go through it as well.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jordan, what was the biggest adjustment when you got to college? What was it from
Definitely the
high school to
speed.
college?
Definitely the speed, but I had a big head, going into college. Like I'm going to this Division II school. Like I could go out there and compete. And I got humbled. And mind you, 2020, we ain't play. So my last 2020, I ain't play. And then like because of COVID year. And then 2021 came, I got redshirted. So that's 2 years without ball. And I'm like, okay, now I got to get on my P's and Q's after, just that humbled me for sure. Just knowing the
Yeah.
speed of the game. And, we got some D1 transfers, the FBS come down to Valdosta State. Like you see us in the playoffs every year. So that was the experience right there.
Part of this program is probably going to be hearing some stories where folks have overcome, obstacles. So COVID had to be rough. I've heard that across the board from a number of different athletes and different sports as well. What would you say? Was there a specific moment where you found yourself like searching for answers and you didn't really know how all this would work out, or were you confident the whole time that, hey, I'm going to stay at Valdosta State, I'm going to play here, I'm going to give it my all no
Mhm.
matter what?
Yeah, I had no aspirations of transferring out to school, but I could say like after that 2021 year, I was put in an opportunity to travel with the team and go to the national championship with the team, but I wasn't in my playbook. So that hurt me in the long run, that
Yeah.
season. So going into 2022, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do everything I can to, learn this playbook, get ahead of the defensive backs, no offensive formations to, because I want to get on the field and play. But then another obstacle that I faced is we had a transfer, we had a new coach come in 2022. And, I'm a smaller guy and he always told me I could never play. So I just had to prove myself from 2022, 2023, and 2024 last year. So just that I could play and show them. So that was the big challenge there. Just going out there every day with a chip on my shoulder, like, okay, I'm small, but I got hard and I could play. So
So David, you played a lot. So taking off of what Jordan just said, I hear this a lot. I am not a college athlete, but sport athlete, but um, is it a coaching strategy to use that towards athletes where they come up and challenge you like, hey, you're never going to play. You're just not that good. Is that a strategy, or because I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot.
My fault. I was on mute for a sec, but I think that, and maybe
No
it was
problem.
good that I was on mute. But I think that a lot of these coaches, when it works out that way and it works out for the good, they'll take credit. See, I was hard on you
Right.
because of that. Some coaches,
Yeah.
just like some other people, sometimes you're just a dick. Sometimes,
Yeah.
you get a lot of these coaches, and it's a shame because coaches, I don't think, always realize how much influence and power and control you have in the trajectory of a young man's life or a young woman's life.
Absolutely.
They don't realize that a lot of times coaches, just from experience, my experience, everybody's maybe different. A lot of times coaches get into coaching for, they think it's for the right reasons, but they're really just reliving out a lot of maybe their own disappointments in their careers, or just trying to relive certain moments that they had. And they have to realize that, hey, it's the kids first. And I think when you prioritize that in your mind every day, then it'll allow you to kind of lead, even if you're going to be a tough coach and that's your brand, or that's your style, or that's where you feel like you can get the most out of your players, then that's cool. But I think there needs to be a balance there, because I've seen a lot of kids, have their confidence shattered, and they're never the same in college, when it comes to sports. And who knows what them being able to get on the field, what life lessons, what confidence that could have gave them to then follow through in other areas of life. But I want to, and Jordan is a little bit different, because a coach probably would tell him, oh, see, I was hard on you because you were like that,
Yeah.
because you're the type of person that you're going to figure out whatever situation and
Absolutely.
adjust accordingly. Other
Yeah.
kids may not have that. Now, they hopefully will learn and develop that. But I can tell you had it just when you mentioned your playbook. You took accountability. And that's
Yep.
something that I remember. And just to remind people, you said that you weren't in your playbook one year. You took ownership. You kept it real. Looked yourself in the face in the mirror and said, "Hey, I need to work on this if I want to play. This is what I want to do. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to sit here and blame the coach, even though coach may or may not have their preconceived feelings about me. I'm going to get in the playbook and I'm going to force myself on the field." So that, from an accountability standpoint, I think a lot of young players or older players or adults should adapt, because I can remember very quickly, I know I'm talking too much, very quickly, my first year, when I made the team with the Colts, the second year, it was such, like, during preseason, I was a totally different person than I was during the season. I was just locked in a different way, if I'm just being honest. And preseason, the play, I'm sure, it shows everything. There's a cause and effect to everything. So the point is, Jordan's built like that. And a lot of these coaches, they will push you, they will test you, and you're going to learn a lot about yourself playing the game.
Absolutely.
Jordan, tell us a little bit about, so you've got this really good job. You've been promoted, is my understanding. Using what God gave you, you've already got clearly the intelligence, the mental capacity to really be successful. You have a lot of leadership abilities, is what I'm hearing. You've clearly persevered through some challenging times in your life, and you're just getting started. So,
Oh yeah.
David and I want to give you a chance. Where do you see yourself? Let's say 5 years, 10 years. Tell us a little bit about what your vision is, and how you can use maybe the tools you've already been given, but also those around you to build a team.
hmm So I'm working with Southeastern Freight Lines. I'm one of the frontline leaders at the Valdosta terminal. So my next move would be a OM, but the next 5 years, like I can see myself running I can be a service center manager. I love the company. It's great leadership. Like, we have a game plan, our mission, live our culture, provide quality, and create financial strength. And it's just, you know, that's where I kind of see myself in 5 years, 5, 10 years. But I mean, it's kind of hard to tell. It's just like everything is moving so fast with the company. Because, like, last year I got hired. I was a part-time outbound freight handler. And then when the season came up, I had to work in the mornings. So I was inbound freight handler. Then football ended this past year. Went through the management trainee program for 10 weeks, and now I'm
Wow.
the outbound supervisor. So it was just like boom, boom, back to back. just
Jordan, what's
back-to-back
that mean?
moves.
What's that position mean? So we don't pretend that no one knows what that company
Mhm.
is. Tell us about that. What's that mean?
Yeah, so outbound. So basically, everybody, our local drivers that pick up in Valdosta or Tallahassee is not too far. Everything that's been picked up from the city that's coming in on our shift, I'll send it out. I'll like plan it out, like doing logistics, plan it out. That's going out to like Fort Myers, Atlanta, um, Tampa, wherever our other terminals at. So make sure their freight is, being delivered out.
You're a trucker. It's
Truck,
semis.
yeah, trucking in
Yeah,
like LTL, yes, sir.
gotcha. Thank you.
So when it comes to your business, and I always say your business, whether you own it, because it's your personal business. Like I believe, especially from a sales background, this is our business, regardless of the situation. When it comes to your business, what has been a lesson that you're reminded of all the time? And sometimes, you probably even laugh and say, "Damn, this is the same thing as sports." Even as you're sitting there, as
Hmm.
you're describing, you're
Oh
describing it
yeah,
like a team. You wouldn't even know that you're talking about
for
an
sure.
actual job or a career. It seems like you're just talking about football. So what has been one lesson that you've been able to carry over into becoming successful? And like you said, things moving fast. Things usually do move fast for people that are doing well.
Definitely like relationships. The operation is gonna take care of itself, but when you're leading guys, like you want them to work for you and you want them to have a good relationship for you so they can work hard. So, just being out there with guys that are, older than me, just being relationships and, just creating that bond because I mean, at the end of the day, relationships gonna take you far, no matter who they're gonna get you somewhere.
He gets it.
Man, I'm telling you, and now you know why I wanted him on here, David.
He
I
gets
mean,
it.
this guy's got it, and Jordan, while you're talking, I couldn't help but think, man, you got some coaching attributes right there. Do you want to
Yeah.
coach?
I do. Like, I mean, if all, what I'm saying, all, fails, like I still got coaching in my heart, what I'm saying? That's what I want to do out of college, but
I
got
knew
another
it. I knew
opportunity for
it.
sure.
I knew it.
Even it don't gotta fail. You figure it out. You figure
Oh
out how
yeah,
you can do both. One doesn't have to fail
That's
for
right.
you to be successful in the other.
for sure.
That's right, man. Hey,
I,
this
I
is
got a, I
awesome.
got a question though.
What's up?
I got a question. Dang, I just kind of lost my train of thought. But it was I'll let you go, Brandon, because I kind of lost my train of thought on that one.
No, that's okay. It'll
Oh
come
yeah, I
back.
remember what it
But
was.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Hold
ahead.
up. And I think this is important for a lot of the audience to know. Like, we're not just talking about some scrub out here. Like, we're talking about somebody who won a pretty big award when it came to 2024. We haven't mentioned that. You got FCA Athlete of the Year, right?
I got, yeah, FCA Athlete of the Year. So yeah,
Come
that was pretty
on,
cool.
right?
I
You allowed to toot your own horn?
I I'll
That's
give you a
awesome.
little background on how that started.
Mhm.
If we got time,
We got time, bro. For that,
All
we got
right.
time.
So
Absolutely.
back in 2024, one of the assistant coaches and one of my special teams players, or one of my former teammates, Reed Brass and Coach Early, we met together and was like, hey, how can we get all the sports teams on campus, because ultimately one of my pastors told me is that athletes and Greek life needs, like, basically they need Jesus, because, like, what I'm saying, we just need it, and we're trying to work out a schedule during that time to find out what works best, that majority of the athletes can come together. So we did that, and it's been going on for a year, still continuing. And then just investing that time, posting on social media, getting out on campus, outreaching them, encouraging people to come, and then, got the reward this past spring. So it was good. It was good, man. And it's going in the right direction. So
It shows a lot of leadership. A lot
for
of
sure.
leadership. Like that's and people, I think, yeah, it shows a lot of leadership. Big bro, come on. You gonna have you bringing Jordan on here. You're gonna have me wanting to talk all the rest of the day. This is impressive, bro. This is impressive. And one thing that I'll tell you, uh, don't set limitations, bro. Don't put no
Yes, sir.
ceiling on you. You said you a man of faith, a man of God. God ain't put us here to have limitations. You know what I
There you
mean?
go.
You
That's
feel me?
it.
He ain't put us
Yeah.
on here to be decisive, be very clear in what you want and go
Mhm.
at. That's the fun part, going out there and getting it, going out there and
Oh yeah.
proving to your coach. Because a lot of times we forget that just the same way that your coach was hating on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we think like the fun part is when he finally acknowledges that, oh, I can play. Nah, the fun part was
I'm telling you, hey,
when the dog come out. Matter of fact, hold up. I gotta ask another question before. Hold on. And I'm glad we're recording all of this. Hold on. Big bro, you there?
I'm here.
Hold on. I got one more question because now he just got me amped. Dog mentality. You thought you didn't think I saw that. Tell us what dog mentality is.
So dog mentality, our coach said it all the time. He don't want no poodle. He want a cane corso with a stripe. That's what he want. So the D stand for discipline. So that's simply doing what you're saying, what you're gonna do, regardless of who's watching. You got the O, obedience, submitting and complying for the greater good of the team, and then grit. You got to have a lot of passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. That's what it is to be a dog. That's what it is.
Wow.
What it is.
That sounds spiritual to me.
Oh, man. Oh,
That's
my
it.
God. I love it.
So once again, big bro, I guess it all works out how it's supposed to, but I think that's a good segment for me to stop talking. I got what I needed from this combo, so I'll let you take it away, and then I'll thank Jordan afterwards.
Yeah, no, I was just wanting to say, Jordan, thank you for being a part of this, and
Absolutely.
you have a lot of leadership abilities. You're going to be a mentor. You already are. You're going to be the one training. You're going to be the one managing. You'll probably end up owning your own company one day, or whatever you want to do. You just got that ability. You're a good communicator, and you've got a track record where you've been a competitor. You've overcome, and this is exactly why that you fit this podcast, because your perspective has been so spot on today. It touches on so many different topics that David and I know exist in a number of young folks, but also business people that we know that we've interacted with. And so your words today, I think, are going to inspire others to really take a step back and say, wow, the same things happened to me. This is what I need to do. And if Jordan can do it, I can do it. That's what we're here to do, is just share stories. So thank you. Best of luck to you. Surround yourself with good people. You're going to be successful no matter what.
I
Jordan.
appreciate y'all.
We want to have you back on the show at some point in the future.
Absolutely.
Just to check in, see where you're at. And man, it seems like you've landed a great company with a lot of support. Clearly, they're good enough to have a leadership program there, a mission that you believe in. And man, what more can you ask for? And so to that's all I wanted to say to you. Thank you for being a part of the show today. David?
Perspective and perseverance. You got a good head on your shoulders, and after you giving the breakdown to the dog, I know you got the heart to persevere through everything. So that's what we're here. That's what we're here for. So anything that we can do, just ask. And you got me excited, bro. You got me. This is why it's good to talk to the young ones, because now I'm over here like, I've been slacking. Like, hold up, it's kind of like, that's the energy that you got me on, bro. Thank you. That's what I meant. I said all that to say I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all for having me. Just let me know, anytime. Anything I could do to help y'all, just let me know for sure.
You're a good brother.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you, Jordan.
Best of luck to y'all too.
Appreciate that. All right, there you have it. 2 P's on the pod, and we got the legend Jordan Billups. We're going to definitely tap in with him. I'm going to put it out there because I'm all about manifesting. Jordan will definitely be involved in somehow, some sorts. Of course, I got to run it by Big Bro, but I'm pretty sure we can be in agreement. But just perspective and perseverance. So appreciate your stories, and we'll see all of y'all on the next one.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.